Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Venus Vortex. I am Kazi. I am your tarot reader and I am a tarot specialist. I've been doing it since I was 8 years old. Today, we're going to go through the stones. It's pick a stone, whatever you feel most drawn to. So that will be your reading and that'll be the group that I call you during the reading. This is of course a collective reading. If you've never had a collective reading before, you have to kind of go with what resonates and leave what doesn't, okay? So this one here is actually Jasper and Unakite. So these are great for grounding. They are associated with Venus. So it's a stone that is here to help you, your heart and your mind to kind of come into unison. Is associated with Aries and Taurus and Libra. Okay, I like that it's in a dagger as well. So, or a tooth. So maybe that's significant to you. Next pile we have is Sodalite. So Sodalite is a stone from Africa and I associate it with Neptune because of its color and also its texture. It kind of reminds me of waves of the ocean. It is a stone, sorry if you can hear that yawning, that was my dog. So it is a stone that is associated with mental clarity and being able to think more rationally and calmly and more collectedly. So that might be an issue for you. For some reason, it's reminding me of spiders' webs. So maybe spiders are significant for you and what we're reading today. So we're actually going to do a rose reading for those of you who are not familiar with my work. So this is bronze hematite, also known as fool's gold. Okay, so it does have this kind of like fake gold kind of looking texture to it, especially in little chunks and stuff. It can look like real gold, but low quality obviously, because high quality gold is quite yellow. So this stone here is very earthy, so it helps you with grounding, mental health, and just it is associated with Capricorn, so boundaries are emphasized with this particular stone and may be an issue that you need to get more clarity on. So without further ado, we're going with pile number 1. So that would be the Jasper stone. Welcome, 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 pile 1. That would be the Jasper Unakite combination. So we are going to start off with some moon cards. I know it's been a little while since I have done tarot with you guys, and I know maybe you've been missing me, hopefully. So I haven't done tarot in a little while because I had a very strong attachment for the last 2 years, and I've really been working hard on getting rid of it. Finally gone, right before Halloween, so lucky there. Now, for those of you who may be religiously inclined or like don't celebrate Halloween, Halloween's actually really good for you because you should wear a costume, whether you go out or not. You should always dress up in something that's not normal to you to scare away bad spirits and attachments. If you don't do it, you're more likely to attract a negative attachment that can drain your energy and give you a lot of negative thoughts and feelings. So because it's so close to the veil now, we're coming into the 2 weeks of Halloween, no spiritual practices apart from meditation. So I'm getting all of my stuff done obviously for my channel, and then I'll disappear for a couple of weeks. Pretty standard with someone like me. So dress up because you're good enough. The spiritual realm says so. What else does this pile need? And one more. Oh, no. Take them all. Okay. What's on the back? Nothing will come of this situation. Okay, so whatever you have going on for you, void, of course, in moon. Okay, so I love moon cards because, wow, this is so many. Okay. I feel like I need to arrange them. And I'm hearing Jagged Little Pill. Maybe Alannis Morissette is significant for you guys. Or maybe some of you have like drug addiction issues that are coming up for you. So what have we got here? We've got You're Good Enough, Moon in Virgo, full moon in Virgo. So these can be time periods. So you should look up the time periods of like the full moon in Virgo, when that will be. The full moon eclipse. We have a lunar eclipse coming up on the 28th. So conclusions are within reach. So an issue that you've been having at the moment could be something that's going to become more clear during that particular time period, particularly emphasized for women. So that's something that could happen. So work through your fears for the women in the house. That's a very specific message. So whatever you're afraid of, it could be clowns, it could be, I'm hearing Hershey's Kisses. I don't know why you would be afraid of chocolate nipple looking things, but okay. Surrender to the divine. So for those of you who are having crisis of faith at the moment, going through maybe a dark night of the soul situation, or just doubting who you are as a person, if you just let go that need to control, things become so much more clear and you'll have a lot less struggle. New romantic cycles begin, new moon in Libra. So this just suggests that I feel like there's a love interest issue and this feeling of like not being good enough. When you clear that out, and it sounds like you're on the way to clearing that issue out. So by the end of the lunar eclipse period, so 2 weeks from the 28th of October, you'll probably find that you are ready for something new. So for those of you who are looking for love interests or a fresh start in a current relationship that you're in, it does require surrendering to, you know, allowing the universe to work for you rather than you working for the universe. Okay, take time to breathe out. So again, meditation in this time period anyway is heavily emphasized. So lean into that instead of like leaning away from that. A time to give rather than take, new moon in Virgo. So for me as an astrologer, I look at Virgo energy as in like a clearing out of the clutter. So decluttering your space physically, but also your mental space and your emotional space, with the moon emphasized here, obviously with moon cards. This is all your emotional space that needs cleaning out. So your commitment is being tested. So nothing will come of the situation. So nothing will come of the situation is your fear. So you're afraid, and the advice is believe in the impossible underneath that. So you're afraid of something that is coming, that's been there for a while. It could be a romantic relationship, but I feel like it's a core belief that you have inside of yourself that underpins all your emotional decision making, and it makes you self-centered. It makes you doubt in the universe and the beauty of the universe. It means that you fall in and out of love all the time. It means that you're not giving yourself time and space to yourself to work through things because you're trying to prove yourself. This commitment to yourself and loving yourself and then being open to the space of someone else, I think. Fire purges. Okay, so this is like a burning off period. So incense could be really helpful. Cleansing your space is really heavily emphasized, and maybe like burning off, like doing some burn off of like wood and excess things around your house. Palo Santo would be amazing to burn at the moment because that's holy wood. So if you've got any spiritual attachments and things obviously coming up to the spiritual veil being really thin at this time, it's a really good time for you to cleanse everything out. Okay, and I just want you to clarify this message a little bit for me, and then we'll get into the tarot, guys. So this is just all doing things a little differently here. I will get to that rose reading though, don't stress. I'm using some rules cards. Ooh, okay, I feel like one more. So Archangel Michael is of course joining us for this reading here today. Okay, all right. I've started reading these upside down. Anna, the grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying the foundations, divine plan. Okay. So love has been hard. This tells me like this stuff here, that stuff there. So that's the back of the deck, inner temple. Okay. All right. Your guidance is divinely guided. This is upside down. So when you don't take time to breathe out and disseminate your emotions, to clear out your emotions, and you allow them to build up, you block this divine path. You're not surrendering, you're trying to control. You're not giving, you're taking from others. And you do that by selfishly having all these repressed emotions and then taking them out on others. Okay? So your commitment's being tested to finding your inner temple of devotion to either yourself or your spiritual purpose, or both. I think it's always both, but that's up to you to decide. I'm just here as the messenger Devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. So listen to your heart space and the soul beneath that space, because the heart itself is easy to get caught up in and excited, whereas the soul kind of burns more stably. It's a different kind of fire. One's like really intense and then burns out. That's the heart. Then there's like the soul, which is a consistent burn, something that consistently lights you up. No matter how dark things can be, it's still something that you crave and desire to have in your life. That is generally soulful activity. So I would say that that's something that you need to tune into more and commit to further. And this acacia energy will be able to flip in your favor. You don't have to be religious if that's not your thing. Jesus energy is emphasized here, that there is a divine plan, that there is a laying foundation and seeding the light. And that comes from fighting this core belief, because we all have negative core beliefs in ourselves. So this one would obviously be like, you are not good enough. So this is an affirmation that you need to take into your heart space and into your soul and allow it to be your temple mantra. So that's the advice that I've got for that, just to kind of set the tone. I may need to use these cards after, but we'll just see how it goes for the rose reading. So, you know, sometimes being a leader is about doing it for yourself first. And stop telling everybody else what to do. Do as I say, not as I do is terrible advice, isn't it? You know, leadership through Aries energy is always about, you know, actions speaking louder than words do. And it's something that I probably need to get back into that space of more. Embrace my inner Aries. And I think maybe that's a message for the rest of you. You don't have to be an Aries star sign to have Aries energy. We all have all of the star sign energies there. It's just whether we have planets there that are emphasized on our charts. And again, you're here for tarot, probably not astrology, but I do both here on the channel. And hopefully we'll have some new content for astrology coming soon. So anyway, rose reading. So we're looking for an issue in your life. It can be relating to anything. Okay, I'm hearing love already. So you guys are like reaching out for love issues. So this is obviously reading for the collective. I'm hearing the collective is obsessed with love at the moment. Okay, that's cool. They think love is sex. Tell them they're wrong. That is straight from Archangel Michael's mouth, guys. So I can channel Archangel Michael because I have him on my chart. So that is the core issue. So let's flip that around. Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay. Yeah. We may run out of space here, guys, with our rose reading. But they're like, grab these cards. So I'm doing that. So your past feelings or attitudes about the issue. So we'll get to that. I want to get the rest of the cards out. Your past actions. Okay. The universe's advice for the present. Hold strong. That's so cute. Definitely running out of space already. Whoop. Which way? That way. Okay. Where is the situation heading? Okay, I need both of these cards. Yes. Okay. Commonly, we don't accept 2 cards for rose readings like this, but we're going to today. So I'll go through what cards and flip that one. Okay, so the King of Wands and the back of the deck energy is the Moon. Okay, so we're going to talk about the back of the deck energy first, because you always should as a tarot reader. So if you are a hobbyist tarot reader, please, because it's coming out to Halloween, do not read any like after like the 23rd. Oh, and we have the Empress underneath that. Oh, okay. So we need to get in touch with our feminine side. And this is perfect because we're coming up to the lunar eclipse. So you'll probably find challenges around femininity. So for men, this means that you're probably going to struggle with, you know, mummy issues coming up if you have them, or feeling like if you're in an artistic job, feeling kind of discriminated against. Sometimes that happens with gender. You feel like you have to be a man's man. And this is kind of unsettling because you're denying part of who yourself and part of your energy. We all have feminine and masculine energies. Now, some of us can be stronger than others, but all of us have both sides of the coin within us. And it's about balancing that within societal norms. So we can often struggle with the emotional expression and the physical expression of our feminine sides. And it can also mean that we got babies coming on the way. Because so some of you might be becoming first-time mums, or are looking more openly to that pathway in life. And it suggests that there's a lot of Venus and moon energy protecting you at the moment. So Venus is in Virgo, so again emphasized that cleansing your space. So I would say this is nesting energy. So start cleaning your house and kind of getting ready for a baby mentally in a physical plane, and then you're creating space for there to actually be one eventuating in the future. So I think that is really cool. For some of you that'll resonate, for others that's okay. Maybe it's you taking on, oh, this card wants to come out. Expect powerful change on this eclipse. Wow. Okay. So for some of you, if you're not thinking about being a parent, it could be that you're going to have something that shifts you into being ready for that, or it could be that you find a more powerful role in caring for someone else's children. So maybe people around you might be sick and need you to help around the house more, or it could be that you need to be more open to being like a pseudo parent, you know, in society. So adoption might be something helpful, or just being a more active auntie, or being a pseudo auntie for people and being surrounded by children more. So I think that that's kind of cool. Okay, so let's get to the core of what's going on for you. So this doesn't necessarily have to relate to love, but again, love was emphasized before the cards even came out. So I would say that I would consider this a love reading. But the issue itself is about a hastiness. So this is an impatience in love. This is wanting to get to the good stuff before the foundations have even been laid. So sometimes we can have this hyper fiery energy, and I wanted to lay these A for space and B because they're hyper connected. So the core issue is being unsettled, being on edge, and I can feel that so much with so much anxiety is coming through. I feel super anxious with this energy. I just want to keep reminding myself to breathe all the time. So I think that that's something that definitely is stopping you from becoming the best version of yourself, being, you know, the king of the castle, so to speak. So I would try and relax into things. Stop charging 100 miles ahead before everyone's on the same page. You know, I feel like there's a lot of this wanting to take charge, wanting to take control, when really it's like, I need to breathe. I need to think through my steps. I need to take care of myself. There's this lack of self-nourishment. And I think with the moon card and with this Empress energy, this is highlighting self-care in your daily practices. So I think that this issue is really an unsettling within yourself, and then projecting that onto people that you love and care about, and all that does is push them away. Okay, so your past feelings and attitudes towards this issue, again, beautifully echoed in this stagnation. So this is the Eight of Wands, for those of you who are not familiar with tarot. So the Eight of Wands and the Ace of Swords here in reverse, they're both in reverse. So this tells me that you are hasty to move ahead and move the relationship quickly. Okay, so move your love interest in through all the steps and have all the things that you want to have, and like build this solid foundation here that's echoed here in the universe's advice for the present, which is the Seven of Wands. Okay, so this energy here that I'm seeing is that you're not allowing someone time and space so they can grow their feelings. You're kind of just projecting your desires to move forward and be a certain person and have a certain image and look like you're this strong, courageous, brave, you know, solid family person or solid relationship data, or like there's some kind of image issue here and you're projecting it from the internal out when you actually need to work out your internal problems first and then be ready to take your time developing something that is really foundational and really solid and really a true love, not, you know, being with someone hot who has a lot of money. It's like, it's that kind of energy. Yeah. Or someone who's here for a good time and a long time. So citrine could be helpful as a stone for like meditation. So just a Sagittarius energy as well. And citrine's also about joy. Now, joy is different to, you know, joy comes from an essence of bliss, like eternal bliss. It comes from a foundational feeling, okay? If we're getting confused of like fun is like here for a good time, not a long time, whereas joy is more like looking for your soulful connection, looking for the deepest connection. And that comes from like a strong philosophical point. And that's definitely Sagittarius. When you look at Sagittarius energy, it rules philosophy. So it's about answering the big questions within yourself of what is love to me really? And obviously no one has any clue. They think it's this King of Wands energy, and King of Wands tends to be like hit it and quit it energy. And if you've been doing that, it's time to stop, because why are you doing that? You know, you're doing that energy because it feels like that's what everyone else is doing, you know, but truly a king, and there's so much crown energy emphasized here, like there's 3 crowns. If you want to be the king of the castle, sometimes that's running your own race. And sometimes that's being strong enough to go, hey, I know my direction in life. I know what I need to be doing. I know who I am. And trying to keep up in the rat race and charging ahead and trying to have, you know, the picture perfect life is not really building me up to what I need to be and who I need to be, and feeling the most settled that I could feel in my existence and my path as a person. And when we're feeling like this rush, and you bring that toxic energy into your relationships as well. I'm just gonna move these cards over a little and give everything a little bit more space to breathe. And that is probably advice for your relationships as well. It means that like everybody needs a little space. Like these parties need to chill, okay, is what I'm feeling. So, you know, a 3-day rule wouldn't hurt. You know, kind of send a text and then just go do your thing for 3 days. Meditate, master, you know what? That's what Archangel Michael wanted me to say. I'm like, that's a little inappropriate for this channel. But you get what I'm saying, you know. Play with yourself. And just chill. Just come into your creational energy. Go, what am I doing? You know, how am I creating at the moment is kind of the core advice here. And I'm jumping all over the place. I don't normally do that in a rose reading. Normally I'm very like go around because it's easy to follow. So the core issue is unsettledness. The past feelings or attitudes about it is hastiness and anxiety. And then your past actions were to break up. This isn't who I think I'm meant to be with. This isn't what I'm meant to be with. And hyper sadness, hyper settling, you know, and a lack of empathy for the other person. You're not considering the other person's feelings in this situation. You're just all me. What do I get? What do I want? Who am I? This person's not fulfilling like every little thing that I could feel like or want. They're not filling my cup. It's their job to fill my cup. No, it's your job to fill your cup, as well as giving them time and space to come to you, to be prepared to be your rock, which is what you're looking for. You are looking for somebody to be your rock, and you need to hold strong mentally and in your heart space. So that's kind of what the universe is saying, is just saying, you are a strong person. You are capable of getting a hold of your mental space and being what you need it, like what you need to be. Hoping all these cards will fit in the frame. It's a little, they're big cards, and it's a small space. Big deck energy, all right? Maybe some of you have a big deck, all right? And it's just my little hands and cards just can't fit in all the spaces that they need to fit in. That's, I don't know what that was about. Okay. So there's this hold strong energy. There's this fieriness to you. I don't want that fire to go out. It's just find better places to put it. Like, stop trying to put it on everyone else and expecting them to be everything that you're not and to fill this void within you. That's unfair and unreasonable. And that's only going to lead to resentment long term in your relationships. And again, this is further emphasized by your present feelings and ideas about relationships. Okay, there's Saturn here, you've got Jupiter here, you feel really bound. This is an energy of like, I don't want to be tied down. Being tied down scares me. And I think that's a secret, sneaky core second issue. Like, the universe is like, hold strong, like, get your mind right, be creative, and you'll be sweet. And you're kind of like, but I want to be able to be free to do whatever the hell I want. And if somebody's not fulfilling everything, ticking all my boxes, like, I'm bailing. And all you're doing is spreading fear, spreading anxiety, and being a total nightmare in the essence of love, to be perfectly honest with you. If you want to be that person, like, you're just damaging everyone around you and then blaming them for the toxicity in the environment. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. So you need to readjust what seems appropriate and what seems reasonable in your romantic relationships, and you might open up the world and be able to see it in a different way. And I feel like this fire for you is enlightenment, of like seeing the world in a different way, and that passion and talent is just as attractive as physical appearance. And I feel like this, like, you expect everyone to be as handsome as you or as beautiful as you. And that's just not how this world is. Sometimes people are more like a chameleon and they just have to adapt to their environments. And you might have to be more adaptive in your approaches and your expectations on beauty and reality. Especially with this here, where is the situation heading? Steady as she goes. So it seems like you don't want to grow at all. There's this beautiful like rose energy. So you are looking for the perfect flower to fulfill your every need, and you have all this ambition, and you're kind of in two headspaces about it with these two horses here, and you don't know if you can be the kind of man that's not manipulative and controlling and like, I want to say a knight in shining armor, but this is the reverse of that. So it's kind of like one that pretends to be and then like says all the right things, does all the right things, and then kind of like ghosts you. It's that energy. You know who you are. I'm not like pointing names and fingers and that sort of stuff. I need to cut this deck. I'm going to get some clarifiers. I feel like the message is clear enough, but I'm going to get just a couple of clarifiers anyway, just so we can be sure. All right, can you clarify the middle issue? Three of Swords. Yeah, if you don't get this mental headspace right, you're going to have a little heartache and go through a grieving process. I love all this singular eye imagery as well. So it could suggest that you're really not in touch with your intuition and your heart space. Look at this, like an eye with a heart, and then you've got another eye with another heart, and all these tears coming out. Like, I love the visual imagery and the echoing of this. So two hearts are breaking, not one. When you don't sort out your headspace, you make it someone else's problem, and you're breaking people's hearts in doing that. Clarify the past feelings and attitudes, please. Okay, the High Priestess. More eye imagery. Love it. Okay, so there's 3 eyes here. Okay, so in the past, you feel like you have always been right. This is like coming from like such an arrogance energy of like, I know what I'm doing. I know where my feelings are at. I know what I want. And if you're not getting on with the program, like you're part of the problem. And all of that pig-headedness is not really getting in touch with your feelings. It's kind of avoiding those feelings at any cost. And it's a deception. Moon energy is elusive because it pretends that it produces light, but really it's just reflecting the light of the sun. So it's stealing the light from something else and saying, it's mine, it's mine. That's moon energy. And the high priestess is obviously ruled by the moon. So this again suggests more mother issues. So you might have an overbearing mom, or you could have some like past trauma issues, or even just fears of like getting tied down with a baby. Maybe you're somebody who is afraid of living the picture perfect lifestyle because you're afraid that you're gonna stuff it up, that you're gonna be the problem, and you won't have anyone else to blame but yourself, and you can't live with that kind of level of responsibility. I get a lot of messages. I know collective readings are difficult because you get a lot of different stories, but what resonates with you, what you feel, go, yeah, that's so me, or yeah, that's my situation, or yeah, this is it. Take those sentences, leave the rest, okay? Because it's collective. I'm getting messages for everyone. 9 of Cups. Okay, yeah. When you're not, your past actions of kind of, I don't care, I'm going to deny my heart space, you're also denying your ability to achieve your dreams. And it's the reason why you don't achieve the goals that you have in your life. I'm hearing especially sporting goals. I don't know what that means. That's for you. So people who are like professional athletes, or hit it and quit it people, and they consider women or men as some kind of trophy or some kind of award or something, some kind of like chauvinistic attitude like that. The number's never going to be big enough. It's an illusion. You're chasing like rainbows and trying to find a pot of gold, and you're just never going to get there. You're better off clearing out and acknowledging, hey, I actually do have feelings, and it's okay to have feelings. It doesn't make me weak. It makes me weak to have something and then deny it as truth. You're running away from truth. You're afraid of what? A truth. It's not even a physical thing, and you're afraid of it. Like, be afraid of things that are real, like these 9 swords coming for your hands. Like, that's a legitimate fear, okay? That would give me some anxiety. Be afraid of something that's real. And be okay with being afraid. That it's not a shot at your masculinity or your femininity to sorry, the Fool's at the back of that there. I'd emphasize that. Yeah, but this is a new journey for you to like be honest about your feelings, be honest about your intentions, be honest about, you know, that you're reeling from heartache, that you, sorry, excuse me 1 second. I'm just gonna put my dog out. And we're back. Sorry about that. Now, for those of you who are not experts at clearing energy spaces, do not ever leave tarot cards unattended. You will get attachments to you, and they're very, very, very dangerous. So make sure that you don't do that, particularly this close to the veil being open. So if you ever have to leave for any reason, you pack up your cards, put them in the box, and then say goodbye. So if there's anything that is attached to the cards, it goes into the box and works like a Pandora's box, and the attachment will stay attached to the box, not your cards, okay? It will just make the box feel really creepy, and then you need to call in a spiritual cleanser. So there is a new beginning in your mental sphere, but your baby days. And the universe's advice is stop looking for your soulmate. Your soulmate will come to you when you've worked out your internal fear system, and you're ready to be open to a real commitment. Okay? So if you're a commitment phobe, like, now's not the time. I'm hearing that goes for you too. Yes, fellow commitment phobe right here. So that was advice for everyone. Don't you love it when the spiritual realm burns you? Just the top card. Okay. Sorry, I'm opening channeling, so if you hear me having kind of a conversation, then that's what that is. So Ace of Cups. So open channeling, for those of you who don't know, is like when you let a spirit talk through you. It's very dangerous for people who aren't spiritual cleansers. So I'm a spiritual cleanser. I've been a spiritual cleanser since I was born. And it's just part of your destiny. You can't train for it. You just do it. You can naturally clear out spaces and energies and attachments. You don't need to get trained by the church or anything else. So Ace of Cups means new feelings are going to come through when you work through this anxiety and this fear state. So again, commitment phobe stuff is obviously popping up. This is something I need to work through. You need to work out why you're afraid of commitment. You know, for me, it's being tied down. Literally being tied down. I'm afraid of being committed to somebody who's going to be violent and abusive and take me for granted. And that happens in literally every single one of my commitments. And they always try and get me pregnant. And that fills me with a lot of fear and makes me hyper emotional to the point where I just push everyone away from me. Like friends, family, it doesn't matter. Okay? Don't be like me. This is flirtatious new energy that it's good to have a flirt, but don't commit to the relationship. Be careful. Like if you're an Aries, I don't even suggest flirting because it gets out of hand. Work through your fears of approaching new serious loves when you're there as well. But you need to purge all this fear stuff too, and this psychological stuff, this psychological seed that is undoing all your hard work. Okay, the Fool. There you go. I want to clarify for that as well. Of course you do. Archangel Michael is really rude to me sometimes. He's spunky and he puts me in my place. He definitely keeps my ego in check for me, and I love that. But equally, he's a little spicy. So that's what that was. Okay, so the Knight of Swords. So this is your ambition and that sort of thing. The world in reverse is like, be immature. Be okay with being immature and thinking a little bit laterally outside the box. Being more creative. I feel like this is, yeah, this cold, callous person, you really need to be prepared to let that go, to let a new direction come in. And this comes from like your alien Uranus energy. So this comes from creative thinking, and the Saturn here as well is emphasized, and this is represented by Mars. So this is starting to feel a little personal. Okay, Michael, I'm not gonna lie. It is. This is a rule for you as well. Okay, so we're all learning together now. I don't know why I've come into this reading, because you're the reader and that's how it works sometimes. Okay, well, you know, you can't avoid a message, guys. All right, so we're all just gonna get hit by this. There's a transformation in the way that you approach your emotional expression. If you're disingenuous with your emotional expression at the time, people see you as being weird and there's something wrong and they're not sure what it is, so they instantly think it's manipulation and deceit. That's what I feel like this is, when it could just be you're a child and you're kind of working it out. And if you come across as somebody who's really mature and speaks with conviction, I do a lot of that. Sometimes I was working stuff out and working people out. And that can come across as manipulative or controlling kind of behaviors. And it's like, I'm just working out whether you're safe or not. And maybe you do that as well. So appreciate that people have an image of where you fit in this world, and you might be something else, and be okay with being that something else. If you're ambitious and you don't want to get tied down, then don't. Don't waste someone else's time though in pretending to be things that you're not. I think that's the go with that. And the Father of Pentacles is that suggests like poverty. I'm hearing poverty. So if you're somebody who's really materialistic, it's not going to be fun for you. If you're somebody who is already poor, don't expect abundance. And this is more about you focusing your finances towards core issues, because that's what's coming for you. And death, yeah. There's a new cycle of transformation coming, whether you want it or not. And what's the advice? Final advice for the future. Universe, Archangel Michael, lay it on me. Lay it on us. Seeing as we're all going through this reading now together. We are all strapped in. And one more, please. Okay, that one. All right. And the back. Tower. Okay. The Tower card's like, embrace the chaos. Okay? Chaos will ensue, and be okay with that chaos coming to you, because we find motivation. Mars is ruled here as well. So this is kind of saying that, where's the situation heading? Nowhere really that good. You're going to have creative mindset. You're going to have to be prepared to let go of the old traditions that hold you in a place that doesn't suit you best. And sometimes that means you got to embrace your inner weirdness and be okay with that hitting you financially. Okay. The Tower moment is, it will be chaotic. It will be stressful. You do need to do this on your own. This is a karmic lesson. So this is you paying your karmic debts. Anything bad that happens to you is exactly what you deserve for all the nasty things you've ever done. Okay? But there is going to be a growth and transformation through that, and you will find a new motivation and direction that you weren't expecting that will help you on your journey. And I want to flip these over. The Moon and the Hermit. Okay, so wow. When does that happen in a reading? When does that happen in a reading? That's a full circle moment right there, guys. That is so cool. So again, this fear of, and this self-love, this being afraid of caring for yourself, leads to this destruction of your career and your daily practices. So whatever you're doing in your daily practices is not good for you. You need to really, really get in touch with these emotions. Really, really care for yourself, because that's really going to help to give you the fire that you need and the spark that you need to be able to achieve what you want to achieve, but also to clear out all of this toxicity. There's so much toxic stuff here that's going on that you have just no idea exists within you. And when you start to see it, it's going to stand out like dog's balls is what I'm hearing. And I love that there's a little dog's head here too. I'm hoping I will not get demonetized for all the nipplage. But yeah, the Hermit stuff here. I love this cosmic vision, Sarah. I'm like, whatever, YouTube. This Hermit in reverse means something's not working. And it's in your emotional sphere and your daily practices. And it means in your body clock. So you're not taking care of your health and well-being as best you could. So look at your diet and exercise first and clarify that. Archangel Michael's like, particularly you, Cara. You're starving too much and you're not exercising enough. Thanks. Wait for the call out. Nice call out there. See, we all get grilled by the spiritual universe. And we all make mistakes sometimes. Like, I don't come in here as a guru and as a perfect model here. Yeah, because you're not. Thanks. But I come to you being honest and open and just trying to help you as much as I'm trying to help me on my own journey as well. Not that I'm doing this reading for that purpose, but sometimes it comes through that way, and that's all right. So Moon energy, Hermit energy. It's time to get out of the cave. You've recovered enough. You need to start pushing yourself in your daily practices. Yeah, particularly you, Cara. Yeah, okay, all right. That's enough grilling of Cara. That is enough spiritual roasting for one day. We're here with the collective, and the collective needs to know that we all need to move together as one. So we're all struggling with this together as one. And the universe is like, we can work this out together as one, as long as we move as one nation, as one society, as one world, as one people. The second we start seeing divide, black and white, strong and weak, we break that social fabric and our connections to each other, okay? And then nothing can work. And this is about working through the self first so you can impact positively in the world around you instead of sucking from their energy and trying to, you know, get by on what you have. So that is all I have for you today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye. Hello, hello, hello. Group number 2, or group number 2 even. My Sodalite group, and I've just moved my crystal. Fantastic. Already caused chaos and destruction. There we go. All right. Let's start off like we did in group 1. Start off with some moon messages. That got really hectic too. So we'll just see how this one goes. Just for some generalized messages. Remember, this is a generalized reading. It is for everyone. So there may not be everything for you. Don't be stressed. Just try not to be like narcissistic about it. And just be like, okay, that didn't resonate with me. It didn't hit. That's obviously not for me. Just return to sender. Leave it. Because it's just not for you. It's that simple. I don't know why I'm talking like that. Maybe there are some people who have some issues with narcissism, or like got some kind of relationship with a narcissist or something. Anyway, maybe we're a little bit more self-centered. That's okay. We're all made different. Like, that's what makes the world interesting, isn't it? Okay, those ones. Conclusions are within reach. Well, if you were drawn to pile number 1, you may want to check that out, because that card came up as well. What have we got here? Balance and spiritual practicality. We have you and your loved ones are safe. That is flipped backwards. Show the world the real you. That is flipped in reverse as well. And what do you need to release? Okay. You are not the narcissist. You are dealing with a narcissist. That is very apparent with these cards. Okay, I also want to grab some of these immediately. So I'm just gonna split the deck. So I don't normally do oracle cards flipped upside down and reversed and stuff, but it's made my reading so much better. So I'm really happy to do it now. Something I've been working on. Cards are everywhere. So I feel like there are some butterfingers in the group, and I'm picking up on that energy. Be okay to be your klutzy little cute self. Like, someone will find that adorable about you, so just roll with it. Also in my readings now, I'm kind of doing open channeling. So I may kind of act like I'm having a kind of conversation with the spiritual realm, but I also might be talking like somebody else. That's completely normal. No, take those cards. Those last 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Like that. So, channeling, of course, Archangel Michael. He is the only person you should be channeling when you do a reading, because he obviously fights the devil. Which way? That way. Okay. Share your voice. That is in reverse. So somebody's not letting you speak, and that energy is changing. Okay, and this is changing with like the ecliptic energy, because of course this is a moon reading, so this relates to what is going on in the mooniverse, if you will. Maybe some of you have a fantastic sense of humor. Okay, so this card goes with this card, this card goes with this card, and this card goes with this card. Where's this card's card? In the deck. Split the deck. That one. Okay. That was cool. All right, and trust your path. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, so whoever you are with, they are not a twin flame and or soul connection. Bail immediately. Narcissist are us, and run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man is what I am hearing specifically. Okay, so warrior woman Have you answered your deepest calling? And spiritual balance and practicality. That just tells me that when you focus in on your spiritual and daily practices and kind of finding equilibrium with those things, you will kind of unleash the inner beast and get the answers that you're seeking at the moment. Okay, so I feel like there is a lion in a cage within your soul. You don't have to be a woman or a man or any of that sort of stuff. Like, it's not gender specific. It's just there is a lion within you that's in a cage, kind of like storming up and down the cage, right? And it just wants to be let loose. And that's what happens when you have to walk on eggshells in a relationship that's not conducive to you. I feel like all of these are going to be love readings. So there's a strong love energy at the moment. Everyone's kind of looking for their soulmates, scrambling for that. And I feel like for the wrong reasons. Like, I'm hearing for drugs. But that's okay. Maybe some of you are dating dealers. Like, I don't know what's up, but in the cosmos, but like, there's obviously a universal trend. I had a very similar trend with pile number 1. Only for people who felt drawn to it, because none of the other cards are the similar, just this one. And this card, no. Maybe this card. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, you and loved ones are safe. You're most certainly not safe, so you need to go. They're not your mirror. They're not like a soul connection. They're a lesson, and the lesson's going to be quite harsh. So I'm like, run as fast as you can is my advice to you, because they're just echoing what you want to hear, not what reality is. And that's actually to mentally disarm you. And that's to convince you that you're on the right path when you're on the wrong path. Okay. Show the world the real you. It's okay that you're not being genuinely who you are. It's an indicator that you are actually, that's a safe, like a defensive mechanism to keep you safe. So it suggests that people that are around you, when you can't be your true self, it means you are not safe. And you are picking that up energetically and intuitively. And kudos for you doing that, because that could save a life. Okay. Don't shame yourself for not being your genuine self. Go, why am I not being me right now? If you're not being you right now, it's a good sign that you're not with the right people. But it's all coming together. Intuitive hits in Soul Tribe. It suggests that when you release and relinquish people that you can't be your true self with, right? And you find yourself like negatively mirroring just to kind of survive, and you're not clear in your path, then, you know, you're going to be in the wrong soul tribe. People who suck from you, not give to you, and equally people that you can't freely give without being worried that you're going to get taken advantage of. If you're feeling those vibes, then it's an indicator that you're in the wrong space, and you need to separate and do that as safely as possible. Don't be afraid to get people in that you know that are safe to help you, or to just pack your bags and run, or to just leave your stuff and go. You can always rebuild a new life somewhere else. You can't do that without your life. Does that make sense? Trust your path. No. What do you need to release? There's nothing wrong with you. That's what this tells me. There is nothing wrong with you. It's the people that are around you that are not enabling you to speak your inner truth and to be on a path that you can feel confident in, because it's unsafe. All of this says this is unsafe and I need to leave. So if you're feeling that way, that's your call. If none of that resonates with you, just see what we're going to do in the rose reading, and this might just not be a message for you. Don't stress, okay? So that's all I have for that. That's definitely not going to resonate with absolutely everybody. If you're not in a love interest or anything like that, it doesn't mean that there's someone toxic coming. It just means that like there's a yucky energy at the moment. Wait 2 weeks and it'll be better. Okay. So if you're thinking about like looking at a relationship, just wait up. Just put it on ice for another 2 weeks. Okay. These cards may come back up. I'm just vibing at the moment and seeing what comes of it. So I may use them as clarifiers again, but we're going to get on with the rose reading. Okay, split the deck. Ooh. This is quite a large deck. I have really little hands. I have teeny weeny little baby hands. So this is a really large deck for me to deal with. So I find shuffling particularly difficult, and it's a very firm deck. So I like to take my time with those particular situations. Also, make sure you dress up for Halloween, because we're coming up for Halloween. But if this is a timeless reading and it's not Halloween, just ignore that. But yeah, for people who are watching this during the Halloween period, make sure you dress up. It's good to get rid of negative karma and negative attachments. And then we have Santa Muertes, which is normally, like, it's basically drink tequila day and wear a skull. And try and look for your spiritual angels that are coming down. So if you have any loved ones that you've lost along the way, the spiritual portal's open for them to come and visit you for one day, provided that you've been a good person, or they're here to tell you that you haven't and that they won't be coming again until you are. So either way, this year they're coming down and they're coming to visit, and look out for them on November 1st. All Saints Day is what it's called, or Santa Muertes. So, all right, one more shuffle. Okay. No worry about it. What? That was a terrible shuffle. Don't worry about it. That's just your ego. Fair enough. All right. The core issue this reading is about. What is going on? Oh, okay. The 5 of Cups. And then your past feelings or attitudes towards this issue. Which way? That way. Okay. The 2 of Cups in reverse. Okay. Something in the water, definitely. All right. Not so much a love reading. I think the love vibe was at the start. This is more internal work. Okay, this is more you. I'm hearing your job. Okay, that one and the one underneath it. Okay, no worries. Interesting. Okay. And then the universe's advice for the present. So, the 8 of Swords. Okay. I'm hearing escapism. Your present feelings and ideas. Woo. Okay. Cute. Love that. Okay. Queen of Wands energy. Reverse 4 of Wands. More not your twin, not your soulmate energy. But this is all about like independent lady vibes, so don't have to be a woman though. High Priestess, therefore, where is the situation heading? You will know, is what I'm hearing in my head. You will know. What song is that? Thunder only happens when it's raining. Stevie Nicks. That is, what's that song? It's a Fleetwood Mac song. I will put it in the description box below. I can't think of it for the life of me right now. Moon in the back. Okay, again, this was the back of the deck energy for the first card pulling, and I feel like I immediately need clarifiers. So yeah, if you felt drawn to number 1, I'm telling you, number 1 energy, number 1 energy, number 1 energy. They also had not the Queen of Wands energy. They had some other card. This as the core issue. So this is a side issue, like your past actions. So it tells you like that'll be the core issue from the past. So that'll be the underlying idea that led to the past actions. So that'll give you insight on the mental psyche of it, which I think might be really helpful. Okay. That's all I have to say about that. So moon energy. So again, this is talking about the body and the movement and the way that you emotionally express yourself. So this underlying issue is that this, for those of you who've been through domestic violence or are going through it now, you are not going crazy. It's crazy making behaviors and stuff. Again, if you're dealing with a narcissist, like that's such an overused word because it's such a rare condition. Like less than 0.5% of the population have narcissism. So rare. But everyone's on the spectrum. So you might be dealing with someone who's quite nasty, just a nasty person, okay? Who's self-centered, okay? So we can all tend to like hyper diagnose people and diagnose incorrectly. Like they have to have like 13 out of 27 symptoms or something like that to like be a narcissist. So there's a whole bunch of criteria and stuff, but look it up if you feel inclined that way. I feel like this is more like there's an arduous journey, like, and it's something that you need to take one step at a time when working through trauma. And you're going to see the light on how to purge this through your body, because when we go through trauma, we store it in our muscles. So actually stretching and exercise is the best way to work through trauma, and it helps to release the physical components of trauma and allows you to trust in the body again, because the body's been betrayed by the trauma, especially if it's physical. Okay, if it's emotional, we still store it there, but it's more of a mental game and changing the way we think about things. So it's more cry it out and move on with mental stuff. Whereas with physical, you actually have to do something physical to purge the trauma, okay? And when we are traumatized, it blocks our intuition, okay? That's what this eye signification is. And eye stuff relates to the High Priestess as well, which also talks about intuition here. And I love that that's where the situation is heading. So this is the past and hidden energies. So it's like your past traumas, you're going to be able to see how to overcome them. And I love that energy for you. This is so cool. This is so different. The pile number 1 was like very stressful, anxious energy. I feel like this is kind of the calm in the storm. You've kind of found the middle ground. So I feel like you guys are a little bit more elevated than maybe pile 1. So some of you are leveling up. I love that. I love that for you. And I'm sorry if you've gone through something really traumatic and heartbreaking, like totally gut-wrenching energy here at the hands of somebody else. Maybe a third-party situation. Love interest is the other one there. So that would be more the emotional side. Cry it out, put on some girly movies and kind of find, or some, you know, some sad movies or something like that, or some kind of way of crying that is helpful to you. Movies is my thing, so that's why I just thought I'd share that with you. I love crying during sad movies. That helps me because I have issues with doing it. Stupid Capricorn moon. Anyway, this isn't about me. This is about you. This is about your energy. Some of you are a little ungrateful at the gifts that you get. All of these like beautiful roses and all this light here, it's candlelight. You know, all you can focus on is the castle you don't have in the distance. And there's a lot of heartache. You do have some legitimate expressed trauma in the back of the deck energy, and here again, you do have reasons to cry. But equally, you had 5 glasses of wine and you've kind of thrown 3 of them away, and you've decided to keep 2 for your picture of roses. To me, it's like you're being illogical about your feelings. You're letting your feelings override your mental space. And I love that this is a stone for like mental clarity. So to me, it's like you're irrationally angry at someone. That's the feeling. Or irrationally angry at something you feel like you're entitled to, that you're simply just not. That for whatever reason, you feel like you've been unjustly robbed in a situation, and that's led you to be quite resentful and excessive in the way that you approach anything in life. You're kind of like, because I've been through this horrible thing, now I deserve to live in a mansion and somebody else should have to pay for that. I shouldn't have to work for that, and all of that sort of stuff. Like irrational thoughts and feelings of entitlement are the core of this issue, okay? And not purging things emotionally at the right times so it balances up to this irrational point. So whichever storyline resonates most with you is what you need to go with. Remember, this is a collective reading. I get all the stories and I'm trying to make it as cohesive as possible, okay? if you're not a princess or a queen, you're not going to get a castle. It's just a reality. But if you happen to be a queen or, you know, royalty or someone really, really important, then that is something that you should be looking forward to. So my point is, make sure that you're grounded in your thought processes, because you need to go, is this a rational emotion that I'm having and a rational thought process that I'm going through? And it's okay that sometimes we have out of the box thinking. It's great to be a lateral thinker, and that can sometimes get us to have great ideas and solutions and create things that have never existed in this world. So I'm not taking away innovative thought, but you do still have to kind of ground yourself back in reality. You have to kind of snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Okay, I'm hearing like Lose Yourself by Eminem. Go and check that out. Solid banger. There may be a message in it for you. Okay, so I now want to grab clarifiers. We're rolling with that. Sorry, normally I read the whole thing. Clarifiers are necessary. Leave those cards. Okay. What are they for? The first one. Okay. Ah, because there's 3 storylines. The Hermit, the Moon card, the High Priestess. Okay, these cards all came out. That doesn't surprise me because I didn't get to shuffle. Okay, I know you asked me to have them for here, but I feel like this is just another indicator of part 1. Like, go and check out part 1. If that's, yeah, go and check out part 1. If you feel it, do it. Okay. If those cards come out for that again, like meant to be, but I don't like not shuffling and then giving a card. So my own personal bias, I'm going to project it on here. I'm going to work through it together. So let's see if those cards come out for clarify for number 1, please. They did not. See? Those ones did, but 3 cards did come out. Okay. So we have the 5 of Wands in reverse, the 10 of Cups in reverse, the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so you're feeling like heartbroken. I'm hearing gut-wrenching about a family conflict that's led to a breakup, okay? And it was a relationship you felt was right and you were entitled to, like, energetically, okay? So this is somebody, like, you thought it was a soulmate or a twin flame or, you know, the one, okay? And you feel like you've been robbed in some way, shape or form, and you were deserving of that person, and now you can't have them. You feel like you want to irrationally snap at everybody, particularly people who are in a happy relationship. I'm just going to put those there. So that's the clarifier for the middle. So now we've solved what the core issue is. You are feeling senses of entitlement to somebody else's love interest. So you wanna jack their hottie, okay? All right, now the past feelings or attitudes about the issue is, again, this is like homewrecker energy. This is the 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups is our love soulmate connection, and this, like that, is like homewrecker energy. It's the ending of a partnership. So you want to break someone up, you want to take their man, you want to, you know, get what you feel like you are entitled to. But I want to clarify on this one, because my feeling was work. So I don't understand work and then getting all this love stuff. That doesn't make sense to me. All I'm hearing is you're a hooker. Okay, so maybe some of you have that as a job. I didn't mean that discriminatorily or politically incorrect. So for some of you who have a profession as a intimacy worker, no, keep going. All right. Maybe the boundaries between work and your love life have become questionable. Maybe some of you are sleeping your way to the top. Maybe some of you have intimate relationships with your boss and it's getting a little hairy. Maybe you feel like you were entitled to a promotion because you've had some kind of intimate relationship with someone. Keep going. Okay. I want to clarify for this one. Yeah, I know. I'm getting to it. There it is. Three of Swords. Yeah. Okay. You're going through a hyper grieving process. So for some of you, you've had a breakup and it's gotten ugly and it's at work. So for some of you, you may have gotten fired. Now that makes sense. Okay. For those of you who were sleeping your way to the top, you've been dumped by the boss and you've got some difficulties with maintaining professionalism in the workplace. Remember that there are reasons why policies exist. They're there to protect you, the person. And it's to stop you from being taken advantage of, but equally it's also to stop you from getting attachments and it affecting your quality of work and your ability to produce work. So you're better off taking a couple of mental health days and then coming back fresh and kind of purging all this negative emotion that you feel about that. It's okay. Like you spend a lot of time together, it just happens, but you have to kind of let it go. If it's not working out, you let it go. If you can't let it go, you need to get a new job. It's that simple. New clients, keep it moving. Like, it doesn't matter what your job is. Like, we all have to do that at some point. Two of Cups here for that issue. Okay, so your past actions. Okay. So, we have some irrational thought processes that come from rushing. This is all rushing energy. The Tower is like rushing into relationships, intimate relationships, business partnerships. The Snakes definitely suggest sexual interest. And the Sun, almost like all of these fireworks and explosions. So it's like following the fireworks instead of what works for you. Maybe for some of you, same-sex relationships are applicable here. That's not going to resonate for everyone, and that's okay. Don't yuck someone else's yum. Like, everybody's entitled to their own thing. So distinctive message just for me, apparently. This is destroying your relationships from making out with girls. Okay, guilty. Guilty for doing that. I like burning bridges because I have commitment issues. So again, yeah, I fear the intimacy with my partner, and so I will share that intimacy with someone else and make them feel like it's their fault when actually it's my fear of being with the wrong person who's going to be destructive in my life, who's going to be a tower moment for me. So I become the tower moment so they can't. Okay, that's how I psychologically project my non-commitment issues. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for making me have to share that with everybody. Moment of vulnerability. That's obviously my personal growth at the moment, and now it is now yours. Maybe that's something you guys do as well. But the energy here is like what I'm more feeling for the collective is rage issues. I'm hearing like people not dealing with their internal wrath that comes from daddy issues. I'm hearing internal daddy issues. So maybe this is issues with authority figures that are telling you what to do and critiquing your work, and you can't seem to take that criticism on board and depersonalize it. So you need to be somebody who practices going, this is somebody who's trying to be constructive for my growth. And even though I don't appreciate what they're saying, it's actually going to be helpful for a conducive partnership that's not going to break my heart in the future and going to lead to some more mental stability within me and help me to be a better worker and get more out of my day. And that will help you to work through your motivation issues. So I'm feeling that a lot of you are really struggling with motivation at the moment. Again, these are cards that came out in the first pile, so it's like, I don't want to keep saying it, but the signs are still there. Okay, so this 8 of Swords in reverse is very much freeing yourself from your own prison. So this is your own inner psyche. These are your own anxieties and fears that are irrational. The universe is saying they're totally irrational. You're being totally ridiculous about something. Yes, keep those cards. Okay. And this is their advice for you. So the Daughter of Swords is about sharing. And the 10 of Swords is about your journey being complete and you sacrificing yourself for that mission And none of you are doing any sacrificing. You're being far too self-centered, and you feel like you're the sacrificial lamb, but actually you're kind of being an eagle and kind of having a sense of entitlement about things. I'm really hearing a lot of entitlement. So for some of you, like, you might come from a good family with like good money or a good reputation, and you feel like because your family's got it, that means that you get it too, and you don't have to work for it. And the universe is saying, yes, you do. Stop resting on your laurels and actually show your worth. And then you won't feel like you're unworthy. So there's an undertone of unworthiness that's going on here for some of you. And that's where the entitlement stems from, okay? Because you're overcompensating. Some people overcompensate when they have an issue, and they end up projecting on top of a projection, and then they can't work out where the problem's coming from. So the universe is saying that that's where the problem's coming from. You feel unworthy, so you treat everyone like they're worthless, so you feel like you have a worth and value, but the reality is you do already have a worth and value, and you just need to echo that in the things that you say and do. So the Page of Swords is saying you need to watch how you say. Your language formulates your reality. So you're somebody who needs to watch the things that you say. If you speak negatively, you will create a negative environment for yourself. And equally, if you are emotionally negating responsibility for things that are your fault and blaming people when it's not their fault, you're going to continue to be stuck in this situation, okay? This journey's not over for you, not by a long shot, okay? And the universe is like, hang in there, you will work it out, but you do need to get into your own inner psyche with this one. Okay, so the Queen of Wands and the Four of Wands in reverse. So your present feelings and ideas. Can I have a clarifier, please? Can you just shut up for a second? There it is. Pull it out. That would be my guides being mad at me. That would be Archangel Michael being mad at me. He's very sassy with me. He calls me a sassy wench. He's like, you're a sassy wench. I'm like, am I? Not as sassy as you. Okay, so the Star in reverse. Okay, this is dumbing yourself down to fit in and feel like you belong somewhere. You most certainly do not deserve to kind of dumb yourself down in a relationship. You do not deserve to dumb yourself down, like, so you give up your creative career. So for some of you, you might have had something that was creative. I'm just gonna, just so I don't get blocked by YouTube and their censorshipness. I love the artwork on this, but you know, they're like, no boobies. So you're not following your North Star. You're not following the direction that's truest to you. And when you deny yourself creative energies and spark and innovation, you know, you kill your sexy spark and what makes you special. And then you're just a dime a dozen, and people will treat you accordingly. So when you dumb yourself down, you set the standard for other people to also treat you like you're dumb and like that you're worthless, when you are most certainly not, okay? So the Star in reverse is telling you, like, you need to be okay with needing people, but equally don't let that need for connection get in your way of creating stuff. The second you feel like your creative spark's being taken away from other people, that's when you need to isolate. But I feel like you guys do it all the time and then blame everybody else for your creative blocks, when the reality is that they're only contributing as much as you allow them to. It's a you thing, okay? It's not them, it's you, okay? Follow in the wise words. Maybe that whole album of Lily Allen would be helpful. The It's Not Me, It's You album, like, but reverse it, okay? So pretend you're the person that she's singing to and look at it from that perspective, and it'll help to open your paradigms in a non-threatening way. So lots of music in this one, guys. I'm loving that. I want to clarify for the High Priestess. Shush. I'm hearing Shush Pirate. That one in your hand. Those two in my hand? Yes. Okay. So all of these can go back. All right. Oh. Sorry, that's just my laptop dying. Okay, so we have the Sun in reverse. We have the clarifying the High Priestess and the Son of Wands, which is the Page of Wands. And we have the Son of Cups, which is the Page of Cups at the back of the deck. Okay. Whisper sweet words to me is what I'm hearing. So it feels like somebody's in love with the chase, but when they get them hot in their hands, they want to fly away like a butterfly. You know, kind of like butterflies live for 7 days. They come out of their cocoon, their wings dry off, they copulate, and they lay all their eggs, and then they die in 7 days, okay? Somebody wants to live in that energy, and that's denying like what their body wants and their emotional body wants, okay? And it feels like hypermanic energy, and it feels really, really, really good until you've got the butterfly in your hands, and then you're like, oh, that's not what I wanted. She's not what I wanted. I just wanted to like get in, get out, like, and bang in the middle. And that's where the situation's kind of heading. So if you're looking for a relationship, this tells me in a career, which is what this original reading was meant to be. But for some of you, if you're thinking about becoming a mum and you're looking for the one, like that is not where the situation is headed. Like you are looking for like the flavor of the week at the moment. That's the energy for you, okay? Because this career stuff is toxic, and if you're trying to use this as a crutch, it'll help in short bursts, not anything long-term. You don't want to commit to anything long-term. That's the vibe. Until you get your daily habituations with your work life in order and your feelings. Until you've expressed and purged all this stuff appropriately. Don't even think about this, because this is going to just kill your creative spark. And the universe doesn't want that for you, because you do have a really radiant light that naturally attracts people to you. And you do have a nurturing way about you. And you do have a way with words. And all of those beautiful things will be conducive to a relationship eventually. But at the moment, it's only going to come from a toxic kind of perspective. So you need to get your ducks in a row first. So yeah, short fleeting stuff, get in touch with your heart space and your soul path, and then think about adding other people. What is the advice for the universe for the future, please? Clarifying the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is all about victories. So what are we winning in? I want one more. Okay. That one? Yes. That's 2 more. And 9 of Swords. Okay. So it feels like we are going to get over the anxieties. Love that. Okay. Ooh, there's strength. There's the Daughter of Wands, which is the Page of Wands. No, because we had the Page of Wands here. Page is that one. What's the other one? It's escaped me right now. It doesn't matter. I know what the message is, because Archangel Michael's going to help me. Holly, I need you to be quiet, please. Shh. Sorry, my dog is in the background crying. Maybe it's time for you to lick your wounds. Maybe that's what that's about. Everything happens for a reason. Maybe you feel like you need to attack people who come your way, like anyone who comes to your door, and maybe that's the wrong response. So maybe look into dogs and your feeling of betrayal and what that means to you in its fullness. Shh, that's enough. Okay, so strength. Victory comes through your strength, your internal strength systems, and this is you expressing your soul. It comes from the sun. This is related to the sun energy here. So again, being aware of like what you bring to your career, what you bring to the table in terms of a business setting, what you bring to people's essence of hope. So your positivity and the energy that you bring is really important, and that you're sharing that liberally as you can. And your creations are important because they help people to stabilize, not grow. You're not a growth person. You're somebody who builds foundations and who stabilizes everybody else. You're the rock in the sea of chaos. And those are the things that you're good at, and you need to focus in on your strengths, not your weaknesses right now. Like, you need to purge the sad stuff that you've got going on for you, but you need to internally go with your strengths, and that will naturally purge your anxieties and help you come to an inner confidence. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.